And obviously if you talk to me, yeah. Off you go. Okay. First and foremost, what was the attraction? What was the reason for you joining Team Sky?
I think it's quite. I think it speaks for itself, really. You know, it's a British team first and foremost, but it's the most upcoming to be the most successful team in the world, and you know, one of the most successful riders in the world. I think it was just the kind of match that had to be. It came together. There was no other scenario, you know. A British bike rider winning races, riding for a British team that wants to win races or has been winning races. It's kind of a match that spoke for itself, really.
You had your feet very firmly under the table at HTC. Do you think it'll take a bit of time for you to settle into new teammates, new team surroundings?
Normally it takes a while to settle into a new team, you know, but HTC, our roster was changing all the time anyway. Every year the turnover in riders was quite big, you know. But I think here, if I went to another team, it'd take me a while to settle in. But I think coming to Sky, it's kind of like coming home, you know. The management, the coaching staff are all guys that, well, they made me who I am now, you know. I grew up with them through the British cycling system, and Rod Ellingworth, the head coach, he's been my coach since then anyway, you know. So in terms of coaching staff, it's just coming home. And then in terms of riders, all the British guys, the guys I grew up with anyway, they're guys who are on the British system with me as well, the guys who I'm friends with, I train with. And then half the team that aren't British and my old teammates anyway, they're from HTC, they've come here. So I think it shouldn't need too much bedding in. I think in terms of how the structure works and that already, I've seen things are easier. So it's not like you have to get used to certain ways. Things are easier here than they were at other teams. You know, it's a lot more professional setup, and that makes it a lot easier to kind of bed in, really.
It's a very exciting year ahead. What are your main goals? What are your priorities?
Obviously 2012 is a big year for the Olympics, so the problem being with that though is it's only 6 days after the Tour de France finishes. So I'm going to give my whole season around July, and I'm going well the whole of July. I've got 3 weeks of the Tour de France, 6 days later the Olympic road race in London, and I want to do well at both. One obviously from a professional team for Sky, and one for national pride, for representing Great Britain and doing the nation proud in the Olympic Games here. So I'm going to hope to go well the whole of July. I'm going to give my season around going well in July, and hopefully get some stage wins at the Tour de France, come home 6 days later and win Olympic gold for Britain.
Is it physically possible? I mean, it's very demanding.
It is physically possible, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. You know, if I didn't think it's going to be tough, it's going to take some real structured training, some real structured recovery. So everything's going to have to work absolutely perfect. But it is physically possible, and that's why I'm attempting to do it. So
you're the fastest sprint cyclist on earth. Is that daunting or inspiring? Or
I have been for a few years, so it's kind of how it is now. It's no longer now, if I win that makes the news. It's if I lose, that's what makes the news now, you know. But that's what it's been like for a good few years now, so it's indifferent really. That's my job, and that's why you know, I'm in demand. So
Team GB, cycling gives the whole country the first chance of winning a gold at the Olympic Games, so no pressure then?
I thrive off it, if I'm honest. Yeah, it's not the first event that starts, but it's the first event that finishes of the Olympic Games, so it's the first medal on offer. And for sure, if you look at Great Britain's performance in the World Championships this year, we can stand out as the favourites, I think, for the event. We've got an incredibly strong team, and I can be confident we can get Great Britain off to a perfect start at the Olympics. So.
You say it's your job. I understand you're sixth on the list of tour stage winners. You know, the records are coming. Are records important to you, or is it just getting those individual titles, jerseys, that sort of thing?
Yeah, if you chase records, you're not looking at the kind of your targets, what you do, and you're looking at more at the glamour of it than the actual hard work of getting down and doing things. So if the records come, they come. That's just part and parcel. Whether I win one more stage of the Tour de France or whether I win 30 more stages, I'll just try and win as many as possible. You know, I can only do what I can do, and I think now with joining Team Sky, obviously my motivation is great, and I've got probably the best team in the world to help me get those targets. So we'll just try and win as many stages as possible, I think.
You missed out in Beijing, didn't you? I mean, is that a desire of yours to get a medal?
Yeah, a desire of mine to get a medal, but not because I missed out in Beijing. We've got the Olympic Games in London, we can be favourites. That's my drive to win a gold medal, not because I didn't get one in Beijing, you know.
Who are your main rivals, would you say, in both the Tour and the Games?
The Tour, I think realistically don't really have any rivals. I think, for one, I don't really want to look at anybody else, because if I'm looking at somebody else, I'm not looking at the finish line, and my job's to cross the finish line first. So, but I think with the team that we'll have in the Tour de France, I can't see anybody kind of being too much competition throughout the 3 weeks. But the Olympic Games, for sure, the Australians are going to have a strong team there for the parcours, for the course and the route. I think our biggest threat will be the Australians and perhaps the Belgians, but not the Belgians as a team, but with one rider in Philippe Gilbert. But I think apart from that, I think with the 5 guys we'll have, I think we can be confident of being one of the favourites. So.
Okay, just a couple of questions to finish off with. This is for the video on the Team Sky website. They want these specific questions if we can. What does the Giro mean to you? How important an event is that for you?
The Giro is really important to me because you know, I have a base in Italy. I'm kind of submersed in Italian culture. I love it there. I love that place to race, and yeah, I have a great reception there, you know. So I've always enjoyed racing in Italy. It's a special kind of racing, and they've got a special relationship with cycling. So the Giro is incredibly important for me and for the team as well. Sky Italia is a massively grown company there. It's the biggest broadcaster there now, a privately owned broadcaster there now. So for them, it's really important to do well there as well. So I'll be going and we'll be trying to succeed in the Giro next year as well, or this year.
You've also highlighted the Milan San Remo as a special event. Why is that? Milan
San Remo again is in Italy. It's the biggest one-day race in Italy. It's one of the biggest one-day races in the world. It's one of the 5 monuments, which are the 5 prestigious one-day races in the world of cycling. I won it once in 2009, second youngest winner of it, and I said that day that my next target is to win it in the World Championships jersey. So obviously I won the Rainbow Bands last year in Copenhagen, so I'll be riding Milan San Remo in the Rainbow Bands, and I'd like to win there with it. So
it was quite a finish in 09, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite thrilling. It wasn't as thrilling to actually be there doing it, you know, but you know, it's great if you can win in dramatic fashion, then it's great for the sport, so hopefully we can do something similar.
And finally, how comfortable are you now with all the attention you're getting? Cycling is very much sort of on the up and up.
To be fair, on a personal level, the attention that cycling's getting now, it's still in Europe, in France, in Italy, in Belgium, it's been bigger for a number of years now. So most of my racing's done on the continent, so I've been used to it on a personal level, getting attention anyway. But looking at it in Britain, it makes me proud. You know, it makes me so proud to know that people are interested in cycling. You see so many more people out riding bikes. You see people riding it, commuting to work. You see them doing it as a hobby of a weekend. That's incredible. You know, for a rider to win Sports Person of the Year in a non-Olympic year, it shows how much cycling's come on. And I think if I can only be a small part of that progression in terms of enjoying cycling in the country, then that makes me really happy. It makes my job worthwhile.
Excellent. Are you happy with the chap eating his sandwiches outside?
Is that amazing? Having a fag. It would be nice if he wasn't having a fag.
Did you lose him, or?
You just see something in the background. To be honest, he's
okay. It's amazing. Somebody will always pop up, or a man with a drill.